There are a lot of different merit badges out there. There's easy ones and really hard ones. We need to think about this when we're talking with our scouts. A lot of times they need help, and there's certain things they just need to know. Hey, ScouterStan, let's get into this merit badge menagerie of different skills and different things. Now, a lot of you Cub Scout leaders may say, oh, that's for troops. You're going to a troop, so you want to listen up. I mean, that's one of the big things. And if you're with a crew or sea ship, these things do affect them too. So a lot of your scouts are earning merit badges and ranking up within the Scouts BSA. So it's important to understand some of the basic things that are about merit badges. Now, popular in a lot of movies and stuff, they like to think about merit badges as being how rank advancement actually occurs. But in reality, it's after first class. Once you've gone beyond all of the scout skills to get to first class, a lot of the stuff is kind of in place for a lot of the different things that you could do in a merit badge. And this advancement, when you get into Star, Life, and Eagle ranks, merit badges become an additional thing along with leadership. The whole purpose of a merit badge is to make sure that the scout is exposed to different industries and different thoughts and different things that are going on in the world. There's a lot of different merit badges out there, and because of that, we wanted to make sure that they might get interested in stamp collecting. They may have, because of the merit badge, they may never have had that opportunity. They may get into things like automobiles and how to change a tire and change the oil and things like that for automotive. So there's different requirements for different merit badges. And the merit badges are focused down to a counselor. Now, a merit badge counselor is a critical role that adult leaders can take on. There's a video. Definitely check that out. That has a lot of information about being a merit badge counselor. But with merit badges, it is vital to understand as a scout leader, even if you're not a merit badge counselor, there's set requirements, and it has to go verbatim how it is written. That is not to be deviated in any way. And that's true for every single scout. Now, there is an exception. The only exception is handled through the Guide to Advancement, where you have a scout on a learning path, okay? A scout that has either a learning disability or a physical disability, and they've actually come up with a learning plan. So this is something they can do, but that's something that has to be worked out way ahead of time. And because of that, it's critical that all the other scouts know those requirements are those requirements, and they have to do them precisely. Your merit badge counselor does not have the authority to change or add any requirements. They have to go by the actual requirements for every single scout coming in, unless they have a plan for developing their leadership and developing their skills and developing through the merit badge program. So that's the only exception. Other than that, what is written down is what has to happen. Now, understanding all that stuff with how merit badges are constructed, the most common, the most earned merit badge is first aid. That is the most common. Almost every scout has actually started towards that path through learning from scout all the way to first class. When they have those scout skills, a lot of those scout skills are first aid oriented. So it's a natural for them to, the first year of actually going after merit badges, to make sure that that merit badge is secure. Now, earlier I said that first class is where the merit badge starts. Technically, they can go to summer camp and get merit badges. All you have to be is a registered scout, a youth. That's something that's needed in order to actually do a merit badge. That is part of that process. But you can definitely earn them before your first class. It's when after first class that they become important and strategic, and you have to get the required ones for the next rank. So there's a process. You're as scout leaders. Please look at the Scout Handbook, and in there it will quite literally specify all of the different requirements for the next rank. So definitely look at their handbook. What's interesting is when you start doing conferences with scouts and they're looking and thinking about a merit badge, you need to be the example. You need to say, well, let's get your handbook out and let's look at the next requirement. Let's start thinking strategically about where we're going and goal setting and stuff like that. So this is something that is part of that merit badge journey. Now, as of recording this particular episode, there is 138 merit badges to choose from. The least earned is bugling, the bugling merit badge. And I think it's one of the most beautiful merit badges, but you have to have somebody that can bugle or go through the requirements for bugling. Plus, you have to have a merit badge counselor to go through that process. But bugling seems to be the rarest of all merit badges. Now, those are of that 138. There's been centennial merit badges that were only available for 1 year. The centennial merit badge, okay? Very unique. Has a gold stitched border on the outside of the round merit badge. Amazing. They brought back, for the centennial of scouting, they brought back some merit badges, and they were only available during that year. So to earn one is extremely rare, especially today, looking back at that. Now there's other merit badges that have come and gone. Taxidermy used to be a merit badge. There's a lot, aviation or early aviation. I mean, aviation merit badge is still around, but it has changed considerably from when it originally started. Now there are some merit badges that can actually be completed in the very first session with the counselor. This is something that they're not necessarily easy for everyone. Some people have different talents, different skills, and there's some merit badges that are easy for some scouts, but very difficult for others. So saying that one merit badge is easier than others is difficult. There's a lot of different things that can go on, and to expand those merit badges is outside of the purview of the counselor. So it's not necessarily the counselor's fault. It's just that those particular requirements are easy to do in one session, and sometimes they can be done at home or online. So these are big things. Now, with that, down below of all the videos are links. Those links are to national sites where you can actually get more information. So definitely look into that. By far, by popular influence, the most what would the least amount of requirements that take a long period of time is fingerprinting. That seems to be a majority. The majority say that probably is the easiest one. But if you think about it, it's one of the important ones. So it shouldn't be minimalized. And that's true for every merit badge. There's incredibly difficult things that have to be done in a lot of different merit badges. That one it might be difficult for some. That is something that every scout should understand. Some have said that fishing is easy. Well, if you're know the fishing and you've gone fishing and you've done fishing, yeah, it's pretty easy. But if you're from the city and you have no idea other than what fish to order at a fancy restaurant, that's it. You're going to have a difficult time. So I think it all has to do with the individual. What is simple or what would come easy to that scout and what could be difficult. So it really depends. But there's some like equestrian. You got to have a horse. You have to go to a place where there are horses and actually do the requirements with the horse. So if you don't have a horse, that is a really hard merit badge to do. Hey, before we go any further, I want to make sure that you are invited to come to the live meeting. The live meeting is on the first Sunday of each month at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. So please join us. Now, you're going to have to adjust for whatever time zone you're in. But please join us and join in. That's a great way to ask questions, and I'm there to answer them. Also, I want to personally thank all of the patrons on Patreon for their continued financial support. Also, if you would like to become a channel member right here on YouTube, hit the join button and go through that process. It's a great way to help fund what you see here. If you don't want to do a monthly donation, that's fine. We have a thank you button. Just hit the thank you button and make a one-time donation. That is always appreciated. And let's get right back to it. Now, the inevitable question is, what is the most difficult? Well, for a lot of youth and a lot of scouters, a lot of people, public speaking is a major fear. So because of that major fear, I believe that that particular communications merit badge is probably the most difficult. You have to overcome your fear of public speaking. That is something that does not come natural to a lot of people. Now, there are some that have a fear of insects, therefore camping merit badge becomes extremely difficult. There are some that are different difficulties will make a merit badge worse or harder than others. And it's true the other way too. So it goes, there are easy merit badges for some, which you might think are easy, are not so easy with others. So this is something that is, it's independent of the scout. The scout really determines what's difficult and what's not. As a scout leader, we need to be prepared for difficulties with merit badges. And that's something as a scout leader, we need to talk to the scout on a regular basis about what's going on with that merit badge. Why is it delayed? You know, that's something that needs to be a regular discussion when you're doing your Scoutmaster conference with them and talking to them about these things and getting those merit badges along the way. A lot of Eagle Scouts end up with a whole bunch of partial merit badges. They just have bits and pieces that they didn't finish. That is something that comes up in that Scoutmasters conference, talking about their plan and getting that plan moving forward and working that plan is so important. It is important for scout leaders to kind of keep notes on each one of their scouts and what their plan is and what merit badges they're working on, just so that as the troop gets bigger, you want to make sure that's kept, the notes are kept on that. Now, obviously, that is a private record. Okay, it's not for, to be put in a newsletter or anything. Okay, so it is something that the Scoutmaster team, I should say, the Scoutmaster team works on and makes sure that none of the scouts are left behind as far as their progression through merit badge and trying to get the different ones that they need. Now, as far as setting the goal towards Eagle, you want to make sure there's 21 merit badges that are needed. That's the minimum. 11 of those are mandatory. You have to have them. The difference between those physically is a border. The green border typically is a non-required merit badge. A white or silver border around the merit badge actually indicates that it is an Eagle required merit badge. You have to have that in order to even fill out the application. Those are actually printed on the application, so you have to fill in the date that they were completed. That's the important thing as far as merit badges. Now, on a side note, I want to make sure that this is very understood. Okay, I wanted to say painfully understood, but it's very important that you understand this. It's the date of completion, not the day it was presented. Okay, so that really messes up a lot of scouts. Okay, they might earn it at summer camp, but you have to put the date it was earned. Okay, that has to be on that blue card or printout. That's what you go by, not when it was presented. It could be presented months later. Okay, so the date of achieving completion, sign off on that merit badge, that's the date. That's the date that advancement should record, not the date it was presented. You can present it months later. Sometimes they don't even get presented. But the date that they actually completed is very important on merit badges. Now, an additional thing about merit badges is palms. After you've become an Eagle Scout, that's 21 required merit badges. When you get to 26 merit badges, you've actually earned the first of what they call a bronze palm. So you're Eagle with a bronze palm. At 31, you become a gold palm. Now, gold, this is the neat thing about scouting. Silver is higher. So you have gold palm at 31 merit badges. So at 36, you have the gold palm. That's the interesting thing. And that goes again and again and again. Now, if you get all the merit badges, that's 7 silver, 8 bronze, and 8 gold palms. That's a lot of palms. That's a lot of merit badges. So this is something that the scouts that get their Eagle relatively early and stick with the troop and tend to be that mentor, be that example moving forward, and they make that one of their goals is going to earn a whole bunch of palms. That's great, but 7 silver is the top. They just don't make enough merit badges to get more than that. So 7 is the highest you can go, and honestly, even 1 palm is a tremendous accomplishment. Merit badges are a fascinating subject, and I highly recommend that you think about becoming a merit badge counselor. Just 1 or 2 merit, just a few, okay? Something you really know a lot about. That would help a lot of those aspiring Eagle Scouts to get to that level. They need these merit badges to get the Eagle, to get the palms. That is so important, and being there for them. I am so grateful for all you do in scouting. This is a wonderful thing, and if you can do some merit badge counseling, that's even better. We do a lot for our scouts, and I am so appreciative of all that you do. And this is a fantastic thing we do in scouting. Merit badges are awesome. Look into it. That would be a big help for a lot of them. A lot of the scouts, they need those merit badge counselors. Now, thank you so much for all you do in scouting. If you would like more information about the Eagle Scout Slayers merit badges, definitely check out that video. That is a great video on merit badges that are timing is it can ruin the day for a life scout. So definitely check that one out. Until next time, I'll see you on the trail.